Hi everybody, thank you for joining me. This is Living Divinity. I want to begin by thanking God and thanking all of you who are my subscribers. I just appreciate you so much. Just knowing that, you'll get notifications of my postings, and when you have time, you'll be viewing the ones that interest you, which is great. So the last reading, I forgot to pull out the card out of my box, and that's why I named the last one that. Anyways, something, what was it? Oh, it was call abundance into your life. Okay, so you are stronger than you realize. Okay, so let me regroup here a little bit. You are stronger than you realize. So God will never put more than you could handle on your plate. And I believe that sometimes, in your darkest hour, you're trying to figure out a way out. And if you feel hopeless, then you might be like me 40 years ago when I tried to kill myself with some, I think it was, I actually forget, but it was like a downer, and I took over 30 of them. Anyways, I survived it, and I was held up for 72 hours. And when the doctor came in on the third day, he sat me down. He says, "So how are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing good." He's like, "What do you think?" And I said, basically, that was the dumbest thing I ever did. I don't think I'll be trying that anytime soon. So then he just dismissed me. And so there's some dark places we could all get to. And our circumstances, we have to realize that in some way we put ourselves there. And we have to work through it any way we can. So I realize that I am stronger than I realize. And a lot of people think I'm very strong because I'm silent. I don't really talk about things that happen. I mean, I guess through my divorce with Chris, it was, I had a lot of anxiety, and I had a lot of frustration, and I just couldn't understand how he could not just make any changes for himself to be better. And that's what I realized was it had nothing to do with me. It had everything to do with him. But I made it my goal to figure him out. I made it my goal to try to fix him. And that's the other thing I realized, he's got to put in the work on his own accord. I can't force him. I can't. I can express to him how I feel about him and that he means a lot and he should try to make his life better. But if he's not willing to do it, then I'm wasting my breath. And that's what we have to realize, right? When we've done everything we can, we have to realize it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. And we either can stay in a situation that's stagnant, that's not going to have any growth, or you can make a change. And when I sat up in my bed and I said the words, "God, I'm ready to take the leap of faith," and I had been being prompted to do that. And for couldn't even tell you, maybe 6 months. And I kept telling myself, "No, I can make this work. I can make this work. I can um, you know, the love is strong enough. But if he can't love himself, how can he love me? So those are the kind of words that came out like near the end. And he never questioned anything I said. He never agreed with it. He never disagreed with it. He stayed silent. And I guess he couldn't tell me that he was crushed inside and he didn't feel worthy. At the very end, our last week together, well, we were separated like June 2019, and then he left in November 2019. And I told him the last week, I said, why don't you just pack your bags and come over and stay over here with me, and we'll just spend time before you go. And one of the nights, he hugged me and he said that's why he treated me the way he did, is because he didn't feel worthy. And I felt bad for him. But, he wanted to stay and fight. I said, there's nothing left to fight for. It's burned all the way down to the ground. And there's nothing left to fight for. Does it mean that I stopped loving him? No, it doesn't mean that. It means that I had to let him go with love. And I had to love myself a little bit more, me pouring all my love into him. And I just didn't feel like he deserved it, I guess. And he poisoned our relationship. And I allowed it because I couldn't get him to change. So, you are stronger than you realize. Always remember that. Always remember that when you're in your darkest place, sit up in your bed or wherever you're at, and God knows your heart. You can't just tell God, yeah, I'm ready to take the leap of faith and not really mean it, right? Because God already knows your heart. So when you go to him, you have to be, you have to be deep into your thoughts and deep into your feelings, and know that you're making the right decision for you, and then say the words, and God will make a way for you. All right, so moving forward, we have Miracles Now. I trust that my gut reaction is the truth underneath the surface of my fears. Your gut will save you from a lot of grief if you pay attention to it. And if your gut reaction is telling you that something's not right, you should believe it. And it is fearful to go into the unknown. You're splitting up or whatever. For me, I was splitting up and I didn't know what I was going to do, where I was going to go. And I actually said the words during the night. I said, God, how am I supposed to go? I said, I still have the truck payments. I still have 2 truck payments. I still have, we still work together. And I said, how is it going to play out? How is it going to work? I said, I don't have deposit money and I don't have first month's rent. And if we're working together, how can I get a place of my own? But when the day came, and that night I said, I'm ready to take the leap of faith. Some of you may have heard this part already, but the broker that we were doing work for gave me an apartment for 6 months for doing some railing work. And actually Chris did most of the railing work. And it's all in the past now, but I don't hate him. I wish him well. I wish him the best. I wish him to find the one that's right for him. I wish for his healing. I wish that his health stays good. I mean, because it wasn't very good when he left, but I kind of envisioned him being a lot more sick. And so, I wish him well, and that's where I leave it. But the fears, there's a lot of fears when you're ready to make a change. But I believe I was destined to be here, and I believe that God made a way for me. And it's not something that I just believe. I've seen it before my very eyes. So how could I turn away from God ever again? So trust your gut. Learn to do that. It'll save you. It's your inner guidance. It's like you're a submarine, and you have all the monitors on inside of you to tell you which way to go. And do you dive deep, or do you go to the surface? Do you do you shoot off a torpedo, or do you hold on to it? It's whatever it is for you. For some reason, I just thought of a submarine with all the dials in it, because it's probably like an airplane. I've been in a submarine before, but it was just like a quick little, show me around. There's like all these bunks, right? Because there's like 20 people, I think, that man a submarine. And so they have like all these tiny little bunks, and then they have a place where the weapons go down, and they have their little galley. It's all miniaturized. So for some reason I was thinking of a submarine when I was thinking about underneath the surfaces. Okay, so moving forward, divine feather, and it's white and black, the little speckles on it, and it is the white turkey. So the white turkey is a special read in the front of the book, and it says, the turkey has long been a symbol of abundance, wisdom, earth, and giving back. The symbolism is enhanced by the color white, the color of healing and purity. White turkey, therefore, is the symbol for healing the earth and our call to earth healing. The turkey in North America is most commonly a symbol of the harvest, the abundance of the season, and a turkey that is sacrificed as the give back to feed the group. The white turkey is not so common and calls us to recognize the uniqueness of the symbol and the power of its message. The white turkey brings with it a message that the earth is calling for healing now. Your connection to the earth and your need and desire to receive healing will be divinely guided as you focus on earth healing, whether through environmentalism, blessing the land and water, or contributing to preservation efforts. You will assist in healing your own personal earth energies. These may be related to abundance, to your physical body, or to family issues. The white turkey comes to assist you as a mirror. As we heal the earth, we heal ourselves. The energies, earth-based healing, abundance, divine wisdom. The season is fall. The element is earth and air. The color is white, purity and healing. The affirmation, I am open to receive the divine abundance and healing of the earth. So also in 2019, I posted something on Facebook, and I had like 5,000 followers, or those people that want to be attached to your postings. Anyways, I typed in 100 random names, and I posted on there Love is the most powerful force in the universe. If you believe, please share it. And after a period of time, as I waited, I got 22% that actually shared it out of the 100. And so, you'd hate to think that 78% are all bad. And the world is in a bad condition, but you have to consider that, okay, so 22% were able to share it. They wanted to share it. They thought it was a good idea to share it, and they did. So 78%, if you broke it down, maybe 30% was on the fence, like, I don't have time to press a couple buttons, right? Or, I'm not really feeling it. So say like 30%, but you still have, what do you have? You still have 48% that could possibly just like be on the dark side. So I can only tell you that 22% shared it. And then in 2019, I put a prayer on there, and I said, God, please cleanse the world. Cleanse the world. Our world is so dirty. It's, well, in Hawaii, they got Elmo on a mall over there, and maybe I shouldn't be saying it, but it's the truth, so I'll say it. I brought my Chris's nephew over there. He's handicapped, and he had the cord wrapped around his neck when he was born, so he has like MS, and then his right wrist and his hand is pulled in, and it's shorter than his left one. And so when he speaks, it's garbled. But I told my sister-in-law at the time, Linda, I said, I'm going to take Brent over to McDonald's. And we were at the mall, and Brent, we sat down and got our food, and then he wanted something. So I went and stood in line. Maybe he wanted French fries or something. And a rat came from the opposite side, not from the customer side, from the kitchen side, and jumped up on the counter and, ran off, and then went under where the trash cans are kept, and, all the condiments and stuff. And nobody said anything. Everybody just stood in line and continued to order. And I'm sure they got some phone calls. And, there's really no way to get rid of all those rats, because if we only saw one, there's probably 100 in there. So when we got back, I was telling Linda about it, and she's like, I'm going to call. So she called the cleanliness department for the town, and later on they actually had put something on the news about it. So why am I telling you all of this? So about cleaning the world. So, every town has their situation, whether it's rats, whether it's mice, whether it's stray cats, whether it's diseases, right? Those rats carry diseases. And, I put on there, I pray that God cleanses the world. And so, now you all could believe it if you want, or you could not believe it, but it wasn't shortly after that when COVID hit. And, COVID took a lot of people. And, the saying, only the strong survive. So, that was a good long time, and we're still going through it. But the thing is, our prayers, God does hear our prayers, and He does know what needs to be done. So on the spiritual side, I see that as God fulfilling a prayer. Now on the other side, my theory is Trump was president then, and he went to go see the Chinese president, and I don't know, the news said something about their pictures and stuff, and they mentioned that they weren't getting along. So you could look at both of their faces, they weren't very happy. But then after that, they met like a month or two later, and they both came out of the meeting, and they both were shaking hands on TV and smiling at each other. And I believe that the U.S. had COVID in one of their places, like in Nevada, their secret spots. And I believe that the Chinese government wanted to reduce the population there. But they weren't thinking all the way through. And that, they weren't taking into account of people traveling into the country and leaving. And that's how it spread worldwide. So, we just have to be thankful, and we have to be thankful for those who have made it through, and we have to maintain a cleanliness, right? We have to be careful. My uncle was saying while I was still in Hawaii, he's like, I worry about you over there because you're all alone with COVID and everything. Well, first of all, the VA is like right there, and I am a veteran. And so the other thing I told him, I was like, Uncle, I said, I just do what Mom used to do back in the 70s. And he's like, oh yeah, what's that? I said, anytime we go anywhere, Mom would take a napkin and wipe off the surface where we're going to eat, like at McDonald's, or she would use a napkin to pull the chair out. And I would tell her, Mom, why are you doing that? She's like, you never know whose germs are touched here, so that's the whole thing. We have to really be careful about what we do, we don't know if some plumber, and I say that because there's a guy named Lenny out there. No, if a plumber's like working on a commode, right? And I'm not saying Lenny's dirty or anything. I was just thinking about him. Anyways, so say a plumber's working on a toilet, right? And he, he's either not thinking or doesn't care, and then he goes and buys some food and he's touching everything. Oh, and he's like, oh, I better go wash my hands before I eat or something like that. But he's already touched a whole bunch of stuff. Then you come up behind it and you touch it, and then next you know your fingers in your mouth from the salt on the French fry, and then boom, you're getting sick, right? So all those things we have to be careful. They even say money's really dirty. Money's one of the dirtiest pieces of paper on the earth because it's gone through so many hands. But let's just be thankful, and let's just keep praying, and let's just keep loving each other, and help us to find our way out. Everyone should be helping someone else in whatever capacity. If you want to be a good listener and you want to give some advice, try to think of some options for that person, and if you could help them financially, and you feel like that's what you want to do, go ahead and do that. Or you might be meeting someone as you're walking. Maybe you walked around the block or walked and did some exercise or something, and you come back and there's a homeless guy or girl, and then you can just run in the house and get them a bottle of water, or get them a sandwich or some leftover food. Put it in a plastic container that you don't want back with some little plastic silver or whatever, and that's how we change the world. That one random act of kindness could change that person's life. It could change their whole outlook on how they see. So, when you touch people's hearts, that's where the change comes in. But they have to want the change. Okay, so let's move forward. So last reading, I didn't really talk that much, if you noticed. So this one, I'm trying to make up for it, I guess. Okay, native spirit. We have the trickster. We have to watch out for these guys. Things are not as they seem. Something that seems bad may in fact be good, and vice versa. Don't take everything at face value. Look beneath the surface. This card encourages you to try to find humor or gentle amusement in seemingly difficult situations. It also encourages you to have irrepressible fun. Step out of the mold. Your native spirit wants you to know. In indigenous traditions, there is the concept of the trickster. In Native American traditions, the trickster is often depicted as a wily coyote, but sometimes the trickster is a human called Heyoka. There is a light-hearted, fun aspect of the trickster, but there's also the caution to tread carefully because things are not always as they seem. Be discerning. What appears to be a good opportunity may in fact not be. The wonderful aspect of this card choosing you is that it offers the opportunity to step out of old, outmoded ways of perceiving yourself. The trickster allows you to see yourself in an entirely new way and asks you to step out of old routines and habits that might be keeping you stagnant. The journey, it might sound very strange, but the easiest way to activate the energy of this card is to howl like a coyote. If you can, it's even better to do it during the light of the full moon. This breaks up stagnant energy and brings in fresh vitality. Is that it? Okay, that must be it. So yes, have fun, enjoy your life, find happiness, even if it's just a giggle. If you're with company or you're by yourself, it's your choice. It's your choice. How am I going to act today? How am I going to feel today? This morning I was still waking up and I started doing that reading, and halfway through I really started to, it's like I could feel the vibe, the vibe was raising, and I was so happy to do the reading. And so to keep your vibe high, it takes a lot of meditation. It takes the will, right? The will to be happy. And like some people say, like, why do I smile so much? And I say, it makes me happy. For me to, I think at first I was forcing a smile because I needed to feel that. I needed to feel what it felt like just to smile. And now it's like second nature. So to smile, especially if you're walking. I do a lot of walking with my dog, and when I'm walking past people, I try to smile. And they may find it awkward, I don't know. Some people you just say hello to and you keep going, and other people you actually stop and have a little chat with. So it's a way to communicate that you are open, right? If you walk around all looking mad, no one's going to want to talk to you. So, but if you have like a half smile on, you're more approachable. Of course, I've been told that, my energy, by relatives, I've been told that my energy's really, they really like the energy when I'm around them. But it just seems like people want to take it. I don't want people taking my energy and not returning it back. So I got to keep my distance because, I'm getting older now and I got to save all my energy for me. And I have to use it in the right ways to do the readings. And I have to, I just have to have enough for myself. So that's the other thing about the even give and take, is that it can go two ways. If you're having a good conversation with someone and they're giving you back the same energy, then it's even give and take. Those are the kind of people you want to be around. But if it gets to the side where they want you around because you make them happy, then you really have to break away, because my presence, it's nice that it makes people happy, but you can't depend on it, because you have to make your own self happy, right? So that's when I break away from a lot of people. So I have to have the even give and take. And, I express that to them. So I don't leave anybody in a way that I'm misunderstood. Okay, I'm going to say my piece, and whether they like it or not, I still leave them with love, and I say what I got to say, and I just leave it at that, because that's my self-empowerment, right? So moving forward, let's go on to messages from the mermaids. And today we have communication. Okay. Communication. There's many ways to communicate. You could have a energetic connection, such as what I say quite frequently. If you're thinking about John, and all of a sudden John calls you, then you guys have an energetic connection. And it can go deeper than that, like the feelings, like say my daughter, all these years we've been apart, and I I would just say to her, I have her picture up of my on my kitchen countertop. So before we were communicating, I would just look at her. I'd say something like, your eyes are always beautiful, got the glimmer, got a pretty smile, and that I love her. She always knew that I loved her, and I always knew that she loved me. And now that we're communicating again, it's such a good feeling. So I was supposed to be making plans to go out there, but it's kind of delayed, maybe till somewhere a little bit down the road. So I was talking to her last week, and she's like, Mom, that's so far away. I said, I know. I said, I just, with the dog and everything, I can't just leave him with somebody. Somebody has to come and let him out. And it's finding the right person to do that. And I told her, I said, I'm just happy to talk to you on the phone. I said, don't get me wrong, I want to see you, but, I'm just happy that we're communicating, we're talking on the phone now. And I'll do my best to get out there as soon as I can. So communication is very important. It's very important to, use the words in the right way, because, you pull out your sword, right? And you start slaying dragons, No, seriously, but, you never want anyone to take your power. In other words, if, say John says to Sue something like, GD, you really had to say that in front of the other people? Or whatever that was, or whatever, whatever it is. And then she's trying to explain herself, and then he's still angry about it, and he's still GD in this and GD in that. And then eventually she has had enough, and then she starts getting back, right? I don't even know what it's called, the get back. Anyways, and then the words are slung, and then, then they get mad, and one goes to one corner and one goes to the other, or one might leave the house, or whatever the situation is. And then when they come back, they have to try to talk about it, and they have to try to heal from it, and they both have to commit to not do that again. And it takes work. It takes work to be someone who can keep control of their temper. So Some people haven't really learned that. Sometimes it takes a long time to learn it. And of course, if they're drinking or doing drugs or whatever, if they're just not all really coherent, they're not all there, then you're not being able to communicate real clear. So it's a hard call, because I feel like if you can drink 2 beers a night or something like that, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But there has to be some sort of limit. Not that Sue would place it on John or vice versa. It has to be that person deciding, hey, I feel like we don't get along because I drink too much. So I'm willing to cut back so that we can be able to communicate. And I know that I get a little off kilter and I say things, and I don't want to say those things to you anymore. That's how much I love you. I'm willing to change. And if that's John saying it, so John, he doesn't even have to say it. His actions will show that. Okay, so let me read it. Pick up your phone and make that call. There's something you need to communicate, and now's the time to do it. You can see the mermaid communicating with the turtle. This shows that communication can take many forms. It's not only verbal, but can also be telepathic. Animals communicate using colors and frequencies. Perhaps you feel that things were left unsaid in a recent conversation. Sometimes we can get tongue-tied during an honest encounter, and the words just won't flow. If this is the case, you can write a letter, an email, or a text. It's vital to articulate things that are important to you, and writing them down is a great way to do this. You can then choose to send the communication to the other person or not. You'll know what to do with it once you've expressed your feelings. Sometimes we don't have the opportunity to express the things we wish to because the other person has passed on. If this is the case, using the method of writing everything down can be cathartic. It could be that someone wishes to communicate with you and you're not giving them the space to do so because you think you won't like what they have to say. If you have an active imagination, things can seem bad when the reality is often less harsh. When we communicate with love and compassion, we can experience miraculous breakthroughs. This mermaid is also saying you could be called to mediate between other people's communications to ensure both sides are heard, and it would be time to consider training to become a counselor, or perhaps it would be beneficial for you to see one yourself and get some things off your chest. Okay? Getting things off your chest. I do believe counseling is good, but for me, I always fall back on, I know me better than anybody else does. So, I have seen therapists before, and it helped me, but it didn't help my situation. I was given different things to try to help turn things around, but some people, okay, so if I was to compare both husbands, the first one, it worked for a little bit, and then it didn't work at all, and that's when I was seeing the therapist. The second one, he's already had, I believe he had series of therapy, so he already knew the ins and outs. So he already knew when I was talking to him about something, what I was trying to get to. But he learned to work around the system. So, if you're unwilling to change, then you have to accept what the other person's change will be. Okay? Because if there's a situation, there has to be a change of something. So if your spouse will not change, then you got to change yourself. And what's interesting about it is I really wonder, like, what would it have been like if whichever one, both of us were going like through the tarot to watch them together, and then have a good communication about what we just heard. So that would be interesting, because everybody has their own perception, right? So that'd be a good way to break into getting into a deep conversation. Okay, so it's a thought. Next, your soul purpose. And we have the accountant, citrine. So keep in mind also, these only come with so many cards in the deck, and then after that, I have a way, I kind of just shuffle them and put them back, and then I'll just do these random draws. So I know I just had this not too long ago, but the affirmation's important. Prosperity abounds in my life. So maybe someone's getting some property, since I've said that. Okay. Working with numbers comes easily to me. I pay attention to the details regarding the money flowing in and out of my life. Okay. Oops. So the accountant is under finance. Do you enjoy math and crunching numbers? Accounting and bookkeeping are crucial in the overall understanding of the full picture of your finances. Any business setting, maintaining a general ledger, balance sheet, and a profit and loss statement on a regular basis is imperative. Similarly, personal finances, though not as complex as business accounting, are important for your long and short-term financial health. Use your knowledge of numbers and bookkeeping to manage your money with clarity and confidence. When the accountant and citrine card shows up, become conscious of your ability to keep track of your financial accounts. Take a look at your personal financial statement, including assets and liabilities, as well as your cash flow and budget. If you don't have a financial statement, pulling this card signals that it's time to create your statements and look at your cash flow. I like to have a piece of citrine nearby when I'm using my bookkeeping system or my point of sale system for my business. Citrine's energy helps you maintain a sense of mental acuity regarding business transactions and bookkeeping endeavors. Focus is crucial when working with numbers and federal regulations. Therefore, citrine as an ally, helps the accountant at working by improving mental clarity and focus. The life path requires extreme attention to detail. Through the use of good reporting systems, you can analyze where to place your attention to increase your sales. In your personal life, this card calls you to review your income in relation to the financial resources required to live the life you want to live. Okay? And last, before we do the reading, we have animal messages. And we just had the octopus. Travel across the earth and over sea to securely embrace your dream. So I won't read that again because, well, maybe I will, it's short. Maybe someone just needs to hear this again. Octopus does not wait for fate to deliver her dinner of crab, employing whatever strategy is necessary for its capture, even abandoning water for Earth's air. She counsels that you too follow your dream. If your partner has left for a faraway land, join them. If a new exciting possibility calls from distant climes, embrace it as firmly as octopus does crab. If others obstruct you like octopus, eclipse your actions in an inky cloak until your dream is securely within your grasp. Okay. Okay, so now it's been pre-shuffled, but I'll pull them out right now. We're going to do the Archangel. And you know what? I never even read out of the Bible. Oh boy. Did I? I guess I did. I don't know, I'm not live, so. Okay. Let me read a little bit of Isaiah. Isaiah 25, praise to the Lord. O Lord, you are my God. I will exalt you and praise your name. For in perfect faithfulness you have done marvelous things, things planned long ago. You have made the city a heap of rubble, the fortified town a ruin, the foreigner's stronghold, a city no more. It will never be rebuilt. Therefore strong peoples will honor you. Cities of ruthless nations will revere you. You have been a refuge for the poor, a refuge for the needy in his distress, a shelter from the storm, and a shade from the heat. For the breath of the ruthless is like a storm driving against a wall, and like the heat of the desert, your silence, the uproar of foreigners, as heat is reduced by the shadow of a cloud, so the song of the ruthless is stilled. On the mountain, the Lord Almighty will prepare a feast of rich foods for all peoples, a banquet of aged wine, the best of meats and the finest of wines. On this day he will destroy the shroud that enfolds all people, the sheet that covers all nations. He will swallow up death forever. The sovereign Lord will wipe away the tears from all faces. He will remove the disgrace of his people from all the earth. The Lord has spoken. In that day they will say, surely this is our God. We trusted in him and he saved us. This is the Lord, we trusted in him. This is the Lord, we trusted in him. Let us rejoice and be glad in his salvation. The hand of the Lord will rest on the mountain, but Moab will be trampled under him, as straw is trampled down in the manure. They will spread out their hands in it, as a swimmer spreads out his hands to swim. God will bring down their pride despite the cleverness of their hands. He will bring down your high fortified walls and lay them low, and he will bring them down to the ground, to the very dust. And that's the whole book of Isaiah 25. Okay, so I feel better now. Maybe I need my own checkoff list, because last reading I forgot the hand done cards, and this time I forgot to read out of the Bible. Okay, so let's see. Let me just get this a couple of times. And then I'll do my cuts and we'll begin pulling cards. Okay, first card is the Four of Michael. Insights that come from quiet meditation. The need for more sleep or time off. Seek relief from stress. Okay, the bottom is the Ten of Gabriel. Ask your angels for help, ask angels for helpful people to lighten your load. Working too many hours, trying too hard to please others. Okay, we don't want to be a people pleaser. It's nice to be able to help out, but if you're not getting the same energy back, then it's time to cut back as well, right? Hold on to your power. You can't give it away. It's not healthy for you. So mind, body, and soul, when they work good together, is one thing. It's working in unison. But if you give too much of your power away, In other words, your energy, like, John, go over there and go help Sue, whatever, restack something, some bricks or something, right? And then if you're the one always being asked, right, you're not getting anything in return. You get a thank you, yeah, is that supposed to be enough when that's not even your job? I don't really know. I mean, I love to be helpful, but I don't want to be taken advantage of. I don't want to be the one that they always point their finger to. Hey, John, you go over here and do that. And then, you see the rest of the people doing their regular jobs. And then you got to make up time, right, to do your regular job. But you took 15, 20 minutes to help someone else out. And, you're giving your power away when you should say, this is, how about if I get my job done first, or can you ask somebody else, kind of thing. I'm really busy right now. And it's not fair that you keep asking me. You should be rotating around. It's just like courtesy, right? What else could that be? Mind, body, and soul. Whatever it is, mind, if you're giving away like your energy, your thoughts, and you're not getting it back, not sure. Let's see, mind, body, and soul, giving your power away. If you're always doing for someone else, like physically, you exerting your energy, and then it starts becoming a burden to you, then that's going to affect your mind and it'll affect your spirit. It'll bring the vibe down in your spirit, like, you come to work, right? I'm happy, I'm ready to go to work. And then here comes Debbie Downer kind of thing. Okay, maybe that makes more sense, huh? Okay, fourth Michael, it's time to take a break. The situation you find yourself in will not benefit from more action on your part at this moment. Step back, let it go. It would probably be best not to even think about it for a little while. Resist the urge to challenge those who disagree with you. The key to a successful solution is likely to arise from meditation or the unexpected epiphanies that come while on a quiet walk. Are you getting enough sleep? If you've been ill, make sure you take all the time necessary for full recovery. Additional meanings. Make time for yourself, take a vacation, pursue spiritual activities, seek relief from stress. Okay, so let's see what else we can get. Spirit, what do you want the collective to know? So far we have relieve yourself from stress, step back and meditate, go for a walk. And just walk in silence until some epiphanies come up, right? Just come in the wind. If it's like a breezy day, if your hair is longer, you can just let the wind blow into your hair and, just relax and be at ease with yourself. And the answer will come to you. Your gut feeling, right? Follow your gut feeling. Don't ignore your gut feeling, because you'll go into a wrong place, right? My sister Terry, she really said some things to me like that when I was growing up. I really didn't have the first clue what she was talking about, to tell you the truth. I was just a teenager, What do you mean? Throw caution in the wind. Okay, so we have two cards that came out. At the bottom is the Ace of Ariel. It's your lucky day, new resources of money, time, or support, a change in job or promotion. Let me see what's on top. New beginnings. Alright, so what popped out was, and I don't really know which came first, to tell you the truth. There is a better course of action available to you. Working alone may not be the best answer. Review all the details. Wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity, a situation that calls for honest and open communication. The King of Michael is principled, rational, ambitious, and respected. So we have 4 of Michael, 7 of Michael, and the King of Michael. So let's read. This isn't really coming out as a story that I could tell right now. I must have to read a few more cards. Okay, 7 of Michael. There's a better course of action available to you. Ask yourself, what am I really trying to accomplish? Think about whether working alone on this project is a good idea. Is your unique point of view providing creative solutions, or is it causing you to miss important details? Go over the details again. Your angels want you to be a success in this endeavor and are giving you a heads up with this card. There is probably more going on here than meets the eye. Someone may have ulterior motives. The need for caution, poor timing, running away. Okay, so maybe somebody is going through some things right now and they haven't really shared it with anybody else. And that's usually like a guy thing, right? Guys tend to hold stuff like that in. And, so maybe this is for, if you're a lady watching and you're thinking of a man, maybe that's him. Maybe he doesn't know how to express himself, right? And he's trying to rationalize everything on his own, but having another input, being able to talk to someone without any judgment, being able to express how they're feeling and what they're going through without blabbing it all over town, right? So you have to have discernment. You have to have confidentiality. You have to be able to think about the situation in a non-biased way, and then just give an opinion. I guess, if someone needs to talk, they just need to talk. I know what it's like to be alone. And I just thank God that, I ask God and all of a sudden I get my answers, because, God knows that I love him, and God knows that, that I'm worthy. I'm always going to be short of the glory of God, but I'm willing to put my best foot forward with every reading, with every meal that I make my dog, just trying to be an overall better person for myself, and to help others along the way that I can. So, all right, so let's read what the King of Michael has to say. Speak your mind with confidence. This situation calls for honest and open communication. If you are uncertain what to do, then hire an expert. While wisdom and objectivity are important now, do not forget to weigh the emotional aspect of the situation. Make sure your actions are of the highest integrity. A person who commands great respect and is known for being completely fair. Someone who communicates very professionally, principled, rational, ambitious, diplomatic. Additional meanings of the card: equality, getting right to the point. Someone who may be emotionally unavailable. So someone's emotionally unavailable. All right, so, I read that. Let's see what else. Dear Lord, what message do we want our collective to receive today? Five of Michael. This situation doesn't serve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. So it seems like someone's trying to stick something out that let's see what's at the bottom. Oh, change your life, see? Change your life, the world, Nine of Ariel, the Empress, Page of Raphael, Six of Ariel, King of Gabriel, Page of Ariel, Ten of Wheel, or the Wheel, the High Priestess, Five of Ariel, Seven of Gabriel. Stand up for what you believe in. And the Justice card. And I could keep picking up. Let's just go through these bottom ones real quick. Change your life, Archangel Samuel. A sudden revelation that offers freedom. Break free of procrastination. Embrace the opportunities that change brings. The World. A very happy ending, coming full circle. Spiritual growth and insight. Archangel Michael. Your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success. A love for the beautiful things in life. The Empress. Time to act on your plans. Creativity is rewarded. Luxurious or abundant resources. Page of Raphael. Gentle, loving, dreamy, open-hearted. A new emotional situation. Messages regarding relationships or social invitations. Great intuitive insight. Okay, great intuitive insight. That would be like your gut feeling, right? Six of Ariel. Material needs get fulfilled in magical and unexpected ways. Acts of kindness, giving or receiving with a grateful heart. The King of Gabriel. Generous, inspirational, dramatic, driven. Keep your eyes on the big picture. Leave the details to others. Experience that leads to success. Genuine concern for others. An excellent opportunity will be offered to you. Scholarships or the pursuit of education. Time to get to work. The Wheel. New beginnings, end of delays. A change in direction that offers happiness. The High Priestess. Powerful psychic insights. Reflection and meditation that provides valuable information. Be at peace. Five of Ariel. You needn't go through your current challenges alone. Help is nearby. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies. Okay, negative thoughts, yes, they can give you self-fulfilling prophecies, right? But positive ones can also. Seven of Gabriel. Stand up for what you believe in. Have confidence. Claim your personal power. The Justice. Fight for justice and equality. Rulings made in your favor. Don't give up. So, still goes back to me feeling like someone's in a situation that for whatever reason they refuse to even acknowledge that there's a situation. Maybe they've just been put in a position. Maybe they just said, hey, I just want to be the worker. You just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And, I'm going to be in this and and the whole shebang. I'm the man, and I just want you to tell me what to do, which is, some men are like that. Maybe most men are like that. I don't know. I'm not a man. What I'm trying to say is, if you go into a relationship and you give that person all the power, then what do you expect? I guess you expect that someone's going to be fair with you and someone's not going to want to mistreat you. But if you leave it wide open, I'm just in it because I want to be here, but you can treat me any way you want. You haven't set the right boundaries, right? But it's basically saying, don't do it alone. There's help for you. All you have to do is ask. You probably know in your gut who you can call to help you. You know in your gut what's right for you, right? Maybe you want to be in that relationship and maybe you just want things to work out. Well, maybe there's a man on the moon and he's going to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't know. I'm not trying to put anybody down. I'm just saying that if this is a love situation, yeah, everybody has their ups and downs. There's certain things that just shouldn't be tolerated. If you have an open relationship, then it's like a free-for-all, right? You got to expect that he or she's going to be going out and doing someone else and still coming home to you. But who knows what he or she's bringing back to you? That's kind of really a disgusting thought. For me. I'm saying for me, everybody's entitled to do what they want with their own lives. Alright, so if it's an open relationship, it's kind of like you got what you asked for. You got someone, man or woman, who's prowling around for other activity. And if that's what you signed up for, well, if you're not happy, you're going to have to say you're not happy and make the move, right? If it's not a poly or an open relationship and people are going over the boundaries, then you got to stand up for yourself. And I don't mean to sound like weird about it or whatever, If you're a woman, you can't call your mom and say, Mommy, come and fix this for me. And then she comes over, hey, Johnny, what you did to Susie is not right. Why don't you straighten up? And Johnny's going to tell his girlfriend or wife's mom, yeah, you don't belong here, it's none of your business, Or it could be opposite, right? It could be a man who gave all of his power to the woman that he thought he loved. And, he's catching her running the streets. And now he doesn't know what to do. What to do is grow some kahunas, whatever. Some big ones. And say, I was wrong for giving you all the power. I thought you would treat me right. I thought you would love me as much as I love you. Obviously not. My days are numbered here, and we're going to go our separate ways. Right? And take your power back. Love is not supposed to be that hard. Love comes with difficult times. And if you two really love each other, then you'll be with each other. And it'll be for the right reasons, not for the wrong reasons. Sometimes people get married and it's like, well, he already has a house and he's going to buy me a car. And, we're going to be able to go on vacations and I get to spend my money the way I want to spend it. All that that's all like extra perks. Do you really love that person, or are you just with them to get or with her to get what you want. Going to be different for everybody. I don't even know who I'm talking to today. Okay, so let's pull a couple more cards. It feels good. Okay. Ace of Raphael, a positive new emotional experience, fulfilling romantic relationships, deep and lasting spiritual insights. So is this a repair? But it does say new emotional experience. So might be what I said, this person's walking out of the bad situation, the one that says this doesn't serve you, and he or she's found someone else that they're interested in, and maybe they're just making plans right now. Maybe that's their little secret right now. Maybe they haven't disclosed that to the person they live with, or maybe they have. Oh, and I forgot to see what was on the bottom, sorry. Okay, let's do it again. Pull a card. The Knight of Raphael. Committed romantic relationships being swept off your feet. Situations or topics that make your heart flutter. Okay, let's see what's at the bottom this time. The Nine of Ariel. Your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success. A love for the beautiful things in life. So again, there was really no answer about the Michael's cards. So that's why I say it must be a secret, but I think the Nine of Ariel said stand up for what you believe. So maybe that's what he or she is doing right now. Maybe they've voiced what their future movements are going to be, to let the other party know that, you know, they're going to have to make other arrangements if they were counting on that person bringing in so much money for the rent or whatnot, or if they have to move somewhere else. Give them a chance to figure things out, what they're going to have to do. Well, whoever this is that's got a new romance is working on themselves. So in that way, it could be a separation, right? A known separation. Maybe it's already happened, or maybe it's coming in the future. Oh, here it is. See, comes out twice. Your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work leads to great success. A love for beautiful things in life. Oops. That came out like 3 times. Because you guys saw it twice. I saw it in the cards once already. On the bottom is divine guidance. The search for meaning in life. Consider an alternate approach. Surround yourself with wise teachers or friends. Alright, so whoever's leaving the situation probably has some sort of inkling that those are the kind of people he or she's going to be searching to be with, right? People who inspire him, people who inspire her, people who don't have time to make judgment, because, you know, the good people, they just don't have time to make judgment. You know, and I say the good people, and if someone's like in a bad situation, do you really want to, you know, take their wound and rub some salt in there? Yeah, Johnny, you were so dumb. What were you thinking? You know, people don't need to be talked to that way. They need to just be talked to with love. The same way that, okay, this is the way I look at it. The same way I talk to you would be the same way I would want you to talk to me. So if I'm respectful to you, I would want you to be respectful to me. If I told you I don't judge you for your past, but it's good to know, right? What is your past, you know? It's good to know, like, maybe not, maybe right off the bat, but it's good to know, like, last week you liked pizza, this week you like lasagna. And that's just simplifying it to food, okay? It can mean anything. Okay. Next card. 5 of Raphael. When you realize everything happens for a reason, you can release regret and embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. So searching for the silver lining. Well, there's one story that I can say, and that's when Chris was on a job on a high-rise. And he came home and he was all upset. He's like, they closed down all work for like 2 or 3 days. Someone died on the job today. It's like, oh my goodness, what happened? Well, it's a father and son group, and they were, the father was near the actual building, and the son was in the middle of the whole construction site. And so, you know, they had the concrete boom truck in position, and they had the cranes activated. So it was like a last minute thing. The father went and told the son, you stand up here, I'm going to be down here this time. And then the crane operator and the rigger, for whatever reason, they really weren't communicating very good, because the crane was going up and it yanked the concrete pump thing, and it was never, they were never told to stop, and it just went up so fast that it actually, I say so fast in the way that, because I wasn't there, that it happened. I don't know how fast it was. There was no halt to the movement of the crane operator's work. And the hook got caught on the concrete pump thing, and it yanked it up like a ricochet. And when it broke off, it smacked right down in the center of the father's like head or whatever. So Chris was saying it looked like that movie. Shoot, I can't remember. Arnold Schwarzenegger movies with the robot. Anyways, the one where one of the robots was could mold himself back together. So, in that scene, the robot's head got like cut in half, and it fell over on one side, and then he just it just naturally went back up, and then he was able to go on his chase again. But of course, this human guy who was the father hit him so hard it knocked his boots off, Chris said. And Chris was right there, he saw it all. And he said the guy was laying on the ground and blood was going all over the place, and they just covered him up. You know, he's like, they just covered him up, you know, like he was still kicking and stuff. They just covered him up. Like, what could you do? You couldn't save his life, you know. I mean, I'm not sure what I would have done, but Chris was very upset, and he said everybody was crying when they left the job site, and he had to call his boss and tell him to get down there, and they all thought he was kidding until they heard the sirens. And that was the first fatality on that construction site. And I was like, Chris, you know, you gotta find any good that you can find out of that. And he was like, what the F good can you see out of that? I was like, well, you did say, you know, that the son was there in that position. He's like, yeah. And I said, well, you know, like energetically, maybe the father knew that something was up, you know. Maybe energetically he was, like I kind of feel like energetically God's telling the man, you need to go swap with your son because it's you or him, like energetically, right? And it's not like the father probably went out there all spastic or anything, but he did make the call. He's like, no. He walked down there to the center of the field, the construction side, and he told his son, you go up there. I'm going to be down here this time. I said, wouldn't the father rather have given his life than watch his son die? His father would be crushed, although his son's crushed, if he felt like, Dad saved my life, that would be like a blessing in disguise, right? Anyway, so you just have to find the good out of whatever bad there was. Even, with my cousins, they're all, I don't know why they hate their grandpa so much, which is my grandpa, and that's why I don't really talk to them, but they don't really have any honor for him, and I just feel like, I told them how I felt about it, and I told them, it was like two girls, right, they're sisters, so one said one thing about my grandpa, which is their grandpa, and then the other sister said something about the grandpa, that we both share grandpas at two different times. So the thing about it is they're always arguing and bickering between each other. So, I say to myself, look, now they're like best friends. So if they have to hate me so they don't hate each other, then, well, it's worth it because I don't really care. I mean, like, see what I'm saying? It's like they're so busy hating that if they don't have someone outside of the family to hate on, outside their immediate family, then they're at each other's necks, So, yeah, I'll take that sacrifice just so they can get along. Because it shows how they are. It doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm not the one that disrespects my dead grandpa that's 6 foot under, who was a World War I and World War II veteran, who was a businessman in town, who did a lot for the community. I know what my grandpa did. I just don't understand why they have to be that way. So everything happens for a reason. So I kind of feel like lately wherever I go, because I won't hold my tongue, right? I mean, I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to talk to people with respect, but I'm going to say what I got to say. And I think that's why I was brought back here. We got a lot of family curses that have to be squared away, and they have to be talked about it. We can't just go around wearing blinders and act like it never happened. Even my sister who's been dead since she was 29, my older sister put her out. Well, not put her out, but after my sister Tanya died, my older sister put out my sister's husband and her kids, without really wanting to hear his side of the story. Might have made a difference if she would have just been quiet for a minute and listened to him. And the kids would not be feeling so disconnected from their mom's family, and their mom's family's all right here. So I told my sister, I said, the kids feel like you hated their dad more than that you loved the kids. She didn't say anything. She just looked down. So now that the kids are grown, she has to look at that. And the only thing I could tell the kids was, it's the pecking order. I'm the youngest. Who's going to listen to me? I said, what about the children? She said, I don't care. I want them out. So she's got to live with that. And that's her sister's kids. And it's heartbreaking for me. Because it doesn't really matter at this point. They know I'm their auntie, and I hear from them more than my sisters do. and I try to stay in touch with them, and they've helped me, and you know, and I've helped my niece here and there when I could, but you know, I have to honor my dead sister's kids. And it's not even about, I don't know how to explain it. It's my dead sister's kids. I gotta keep them close as they'll let me. You know, only one really lets me in. Well, the niece, she's lives quite a distance away, like a 2-hour drive, and then one of the nephews lives a few miles away, but you know, we're just like friends on Facebook or whatnot. And then the next son, he lives a distance, but I see him the most because he makes time, you know, he makes time to come and check up on me, which is a blessing. And then the youngest boy, he's somewhere in Vegas, and he's just totally disconnected from the family. You know, I'd like to see that change, but I'm only one person. Right now, God doesn't have me going there. You know, maybe God will find a way for me to get there one day. Find him. So, let's see. Let's see what other cards we can come out with. But just know everything happens for a reason. No need to hold on to anxiety or worry or grief or guiltiness, you know. If you have to write it down and burn it and say, bye-bye worries, bye-bye stress. If you have to say, shoo fly, go away. So, just to touch base with you. So, when you hold on to stuff like that, your cortisol rises in your body, which throws your whole body out of whack. I'm just starting to study that. So people who are really heavy, it's not necessarily because they're fat and lazy, okay? They have these pains inside of them. Maybe it's in their head, maybe it's in their heart, maybe it's in their spirit, right? And they can't release things that happened to them when they were younger. And so that in itself is dis-ease, like your body's not at ease, right? So then this cortisol crap gets clogged up wherever it does, and then you just put weight on, and it's very hard to get off. So it's not a matter of whether they exercise or not. It's a matter of whether they can let go of their past, the things that bother them from their past, just so they can function more normally. A lot of people are functioning these days, you know, from a lot of pain. And it's not fixed yet. They're just able to function and go to work. But what happens? So what happens is a woman gains weight. Maybe she has a kid. Maybe she doesn't even have a kid and she gains weight. She can't get it off. I can tell you that sometimes their parents set their kids up for weakness. So say like a kid, right? She doesn't want to do PE because it makes her ankles hurt. Well, it makes everybody's ankles hurt. But someone writes a pass for him every day. No, I don't want her to do PE today. So it makes her already weak. She's already not developing all of her muscles if she's still in school, right? Her muscles aren't even developed yet all the way. But if you're allowed to not do the exercises to build your body up, then you're sitting there letting your body fail you without even knowing. So once your body starts failing, like strength and muscle, right? Then your inner, your organs could start failing too. Because if you're not running what they require you to run, what is it, a mile? That's 4 times around the track. Your lungs aren't even really developing. You got to get out there and put a little hustle in and make your lungs open up. So then the person becomes an adult, and they're, they become stagnant. I mean, even just a regular person, right? As soon as we get out of high school, what do? Well, we have a car now. We drive to work. We drive to the beach. We drive to McDonald's. We drive to Jack in the Box. We drive to the mall. When we were in high school, we walked everywhere we went if we didn't have a car. So that's why I love to walk, and I started walking, well, around 2019, really steady. And it's done my body good. So we have to release whatever's in the past that halts our health. So if something's bothering us mentally, then it's going to affect our bodies. And if our body's affected, and if our mind and body's affected, then our spirit's going to get affected. It's going to lower our vibe. It's going to lower our ambition. It's going to lower our get up and go. It's going to lower our spirit. And so basically, be ready to end a short life, because your body won't know that if it's not in its optimum capacity, right? So anyways, I thought I'd share that with some of you out there. So yeah, I'm studying that cortisone stuff. Okay, so let's see what other cards we can pull out. Here we go again. 4 of Wands. So someone's letting go of the past. At the bottom, celebration. Okay, so here we go. Insights that come from quiet meditation. The need for more sleep or time off. Seek relief from stress. So someone's saying, hey, whatever's going on here, whether it's work, relationship, work, relationship, home or business, whatever. Okay, they're saying people want too much of me. I think one of the cards said that there was a people pleaser. Okay, so when you open yourself to someone and you say, hey, I just want to be the working person in the relationship. You just tell me what you want me to do. You'll have control over my paychecks, whatever, That's a little far-fetched because you're giving all control to someone else. Okay? And then you're feeling like you're working so hard and things aren't panning out for you, and maybe you're seeing that it's unfair, and you're really stressed out. So the 7 of Michael says, there's a better course of action. Working alone, review all the details. Okay. So if someone's going through this by themselves, and, maybe they've already been there, right? And then they went to their friends or their mom or their dad. Look, I'm having this bad situation, I'm having a bad time with Susie, and she's not understanding my needs. And I try to be there for her, but no matter how much I give her, it's never enough. And they say, oh, just stay in there. That's how relationships are. Just stay in there. Just try to work harder, or whatever. I don't really know. For me, my mom died when I was like almost 12. And when I married my first husband, my dad was in prison. And when I married my second husband, my dad was already dead. So all of this would be news to me to reach out to someone else. And believe me, I tried to reach out to family members, and they don't know what to tell me, which is fine. I have to figure it out myself. So even now that I'm single, right, I came back for a reason, and that's to tell people exactly how I felt, which I've done. And I did it in a very respectful manner. But I had to speak up for my dead sister's kids. I had to speak about my grandma's house. I had to speak about these people disrespecting my grandpa. I had to talk about my brother telling 3 different stories to 3 different people. I've said all my piece to everybody. And I'm okay to be in this house, in these 4 walls, and honestly never see them again. And it's not that I'm being cold. I'm giving them the same energy that they've given me since I've been back. Okay, so I'm all good with it because you know what? I have God. I have God right here with me. I invite God into my home. I invite God into my heart. I invite God into my car. God is always with me. And I'm here to do this work on behalf of God, on behalf of my ancestors. Okay? And that's all that really matters to me. Whoever's for me is for me. Whoever's not is not. And it's a really a good place to be because there's no gray lines there. It's one or the other. And I don't expect everybody to agree with everything that I do, but be respectful about it. Okay, so again, let's start this. There's a situation, someone is feeling really stressed. Someone needs some time off. Someone needs some time for meditation. Okay? So they're saying, don't do it alone. Reach out to someone. So whoever you are out there, you know who to reach out to. There's probably 1 or 2 people that you haven't tried to call yet. Reach out to them and say, hey, John, hey, Sue, this is Jeffrey. Do you mind if I stop by? And John could be living somewhere and Sue doesn't have to be a couple, it could be 2 individual people. But I guarantee everybody has at least 2 people they can call. Okay? So, review all the details, figure out a better course of action, and sometimes you do need to talk to someone else that is not going to be judgmental and is not going to be biased to the situation and is going to hold a certain amount of confidence. Okay, so wisdom and objectivity are important. Stay in your integrity, a situation that calls for honest and open communication. So someone needs to speak their truth, stand in who they believe they are, who they want to be in the future, how they feel about the situation they're actually in, and decide what they're going to do about it. Don't let someone else decide for you. You got to decide what's right for you. 5 of Michael. This situation doesn't serve you. Release the attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. So taking a more uplifting approach. How about, I'm tired of arguing every day, so let's just end it and move on because we're not going to go past this. This is the same thing every day, day in and day out. Now, if this is resonating for you, then it is for you. If it's not, it's not. I can only tell you, at a certain point in my life, that's how I felt. There's nothing more that I could say. There's nothing more that I could do. You don't want to change. You don't want to hear. You don't want to acknowledge. So it's over. That's what I say, Doesn't mean it has to be your life. I'm just saying that's what I've said in my lifetime, okay? So maybe someone's done this and look what God's blessing you with. A positive new emotional experience. Fulfilling romantic relationships. Deep and lasting spiritual insights. So you see, you're praying to God and you're saying, God, help me out of this. I know you've helped me like 3 different times, and every time you get me a way out, God. I talk to a human being and they talk me into staying. Why couldn't I just listen to my gut feeling? Why couldn't I just listen and see the signs that you were sending me? Now I see. Thank you for the blessing. committed romantic relationship. Being swept off your feet. Situations or topics that make your heart flutter. It's sort of like, John calls Sue and says, "Hey, Sue, I know we're new in this relationship, and, I just want to tell you that I have these deep feelings for you. And don't think I'm a weirdo or anything, but I have had these things in my mind, loving things that I think about when I think about only you." Wouldn't that be sweet to hear? Okay, I've never had a man tell me that, so. Oh, okay. So next we have the 9 of Ariel. Your dreams are fulfilled. Hard work. The hard work you put in healing yourself. The hard work that you put in to cleanse your soul, to get your mind, body, and spirit all running together at the same speed. Learning how to balance yourself. Learning what you'll accept in your life and what you won't. Learning to love others, but always love yourself first. Not in a selfish way. And if anyone tells you, and you say, "I'm loving myself first," okay? Don't let anybody tell you it's selfish. Selfish is when your significant other says all these things to try to make you acknowledge, and you won't acknowledge because of your ego, or because you don't want to say you're wrong. That's selfish. Stuff like that. Okay, 5 of Raphael. Everything happens for a reason. Release regret. Embrace the opportunities for happiness. Search for the silver lining. And the last card is time for celebration. Abundant rewards for hard work. Release yourself from burdensome situations. Okay. And at the bottom was the 3 of Raphael. It's time to celebrate. Do we need to pull more cards? It seems like we keep getting that 4 of Gabriels. I think we should just end it because, I don't want to mess up the path. But see, at the bottom there is Lovers. I just shuffled and looked below. The Lovers. The Chariot. The King of Gabriel again. Generous, inspirational, dramatic, driven. The World. 4 of Raphael. Look for the magic in life. Be aware of your own emotions. Seeking out other possibilities. I think this is like the 4 of Cups. So maybe someone's saying, "Yeah, I did this for way too long." Here's the Moon. And here's solutions. Knight of Michael, strong, committed, intellectual, diligent. Time to move swiftly, choose logic over emotion, sudden changes. 6 of Ariel. 7 of Ariel. 7 of Gabriel. All right, so let's see. Let's do the number thing. Someone's going to get married or get a commitment. And someone wants to look after somebody in a loving way, right? What do they want in return? They want a peaceful home. They probably love home-cooked meals. They probably like probably doesn't have to be a perfectly clean house, but a put-together house, a house that he'll feel comfortable when he gets home. right? Not like a bunch of laundry laying around that needs to get put up. You know, maybe we need to find a space for the vacuum cleaner, something like that, right? It's going to be different for everybody. But I always say the best meals are the homemade ones anyways. I think I did this survey, like my own little kind of survey, and say for a breakfast sandwich it costs you $7 or $8 at McDonald's. And, you know, to make it at home, let's see, 18 eggs cost about $3. So you're looking at 20 cents an egg or something like that, I don't know. And then a slice of cheese and an English muffin. So you can make that same English muffin with the eggs and cheese on it at home for 75 cents or $1.75. But if you buy it from McDonald's or Burger King, wherever, it's like $7 or $8. So you see a lot of young people, they don't even know, because their parents were always off running around. Not running around, but, you know, the kids were like in daycare, then they go to school, and then they get babysat afterwards, and the mom and dad both work till 5 o'clock, and the parents don't even really have time to make their own lunch, so they're already spending money for lunch. And then there's the coffee, what is that, Starbucks. They even had that thing where they took the large and the medium, and it was the same amount. Large, medium, and small, they were all the same amount. You were paying for the cup. And it looked like it was more, but in actuality it wasn't. What a ripoff. Anyway, so breakfast, you could, if you got a muffin from there, a muffin from Starbucks, and a medium coffee, you know, you're already at like $10, right? At least. So at breakfast you spend $10. At lunch you spend $15. So that's $25 in one day. So 25 times 5, and that's only one spouse. So if it's 2 of them, then that's $50 a day. So $250. You could make your lunches every day probably for a whole month on that. And you'd be saving all that money, but people don't even think like that. All they think about is getting up and going in to make the money, and not paying attention to how much money's going out. All right, so we're going to do the cards. If it's a face card, or if it's a court card, then it's a 1. So let's pull 3 cards out to do our clock thingy. So we have an 8. A page is a 1. An ace is a 1. So let's do 811. Right? Oh, yeah, 811. Okay, 811 by Joanne. Number 811 brings together the vibrations of number 8 and the energies of number 1, with the number 1 appearing twice, amplifying its influences. Number 1 appearing twice also relates to the master number 11. Number 8 is associated with self-confidence, personal power and authority, giving and receiving, truth and integrity, practicality, dependability, and self-reliance, and manifesting positive abundance. Number 8 also relates to the concept of karma and the universal spiritual law of karma. Number 1 relates to assertiveness, independence, and uniqueness, motivation, striving forward and new beginnings, positivity, and achieving success. Number 1 brings a reminder that we create our own reality and experiences with our thoughts and beliefs, and encourages us to step out of our comfort zone and step toward new directions and opportunities. Master number 11 is the number of the master teacher and resonates with illumination, enlightenment, inspirational, idealism, intuition, symbols, expression, mysticism, the catalyst, visionary, creativity. Angel number 811 suggests that you pay attention to your repetitive thoughts and ideas as they are revealing the answers to your prayers and are giving you intuitive guidance in regards to the next steps to take along your divine life path. Angel number 811 indicates that you are doing wonderful work and are on the right path in regards to your spirituality and soul mission. You are encouraged to continue on your present course. Angel number 811 is a sign that you have chosen your thoughts well and have made wise choices and decisions. It encourages you to maintain a positive attitude toward your life's happening and keep up your prayers, visualizations, and positive affirmations. You are reminded also that the emotion of gratitude will speed the process of your manifestations. So remember to acknowledge and be grateful for all the blessings entering your life. Angel number 811 brings a message, not rely upon others to define who you are, how you live your life, or what you are capable of. Set your own standards and do not allow others to make your choices and decisions for you. Amen, God. Step up and embrace your own powers of creation and direct your attention to what you want for your life rather than react to what others may foist. Never heard that. Foist upon you. Build a strong connection with your true self. Be your own voice and be clear about who you are, what you want, and what works for you. Do not be afraid to exert your personal will in the direction of your passions and live your life according to your own personal truths and values. Okay? So that's the end of our reading. I think we got some confirmations in there. Must be on the right track, right? Anyways, you all are doing a good job. Remember to say your prayers and be thankful. Be thankful for every little thing, even that little dandelion. You know, that's all by itself in the middle of your lawn. Don't allow him or her to kill that little dandelion, because it's a weed that is very healing. Okay, people don't really like dandelions on the grass. If they only knew, right? Don't forget to be thankful to God. Be thankful for waking up. Be thankful for your family. Be thankful for your little doggy, your little kitty. Be thankful for having a hot meal. Be thankful for having work. Be thankful for the people that love you and the people you love. And communicate that. Because, you know, the worst thing is, you know, when someone leaves your life and you didn't get a chance to say, hey, John, I just want to let you know I really love you, man. Right? He was really a good guy. And Sue loved him and he loved her. There was no doubt about that. And God took him. Like I said, he must be in heaven. You know, like he did whatchamacallit, stucco. So he's probably stuccoing gold on all the exteriors of the heavenly high rises or whatnot. Anyways, yeah, he's a good guy. So one day my ex-sister-in-law Sue, she's gonna hear one of my readings, and she's gonna hear me talk about Sue and John. And I'm not trying to, like, because she's already remarried, and she's been married to Reggie for probably 30 years. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, they've probably been married about 30 years. And he's a good guy, too. I wasn't really around him, and I wasn't really around John that much, I guess. But those two together, I just know that they really loved each other. And I'm sure that Reggie and Sue love each other a lot. But, you know, I like to speak good of the dead. And so that's why I use John in my storylines, right? That way I'm not directing anything towards anybody, and staying neutral in the situation. And I'm trying to get the message out to you. So again, be thankful for everything that you have. Show love wherever you go. Help out people when you can. Put a hand out, right? We want to help them up. We don't want to kick them while they're down. Okay? And always remember that God's watching you. Because if you know that God's watching you, if I tell you God's watching you, okay, whatever you do, you're going to remember. That girl, Marcia, in Living Divinity, she says this every day. God's watching you, so be good. Be careful what you do and make better decisions for yourself and those around you. Because that's part of the thing that we're supposed to be doing, is making the world better. All right, so that's the end of the reading. Thank you all so much. Sending you so much love. And I'm sorry if it's scratchy. The volume should be good, but I'm afraid to raise my voice, actually. God bless you all. Sending you love, light, peace, harmony, joy, healing, and lots of love. Lots of love. Healing, healing, healing love for my people out there. I'm so glad that I have you, because without you, there'd be no reason for me to be here. Now, with there. All right. God bless. We'll see you the next one. Okay. Aloha.